Emmett could sing like that, dog. Because I'm like I said, I'm not a huge R&B person. I'm looking at it on the Jasmine brand, but I didn't know, the girl that Joey Badass got pregnant, him and her used to date each other.
Yeah.
And again, going back into like we said with the Jacquees show, I wish I could play music on this show. He literally, and you see everybody in the comment section saying, you ain't even say her name, but we know what it is, and we feel for you. Like, it's endless women in the comment section. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, he smoked that. And that's my point of, I can respect somebody with that brutal level of honesty in your music. Because, let's be clear, most people, especially over a certain age, you have had that feeling. If you don't have it, I'm not saying you got to have it today, but you may have had that feeling before where you sit here and say, somebody you actually love, and y'all break up, they move on, and then they end up going to go get pregnant by somebody else. Bro, that's going to hurt your stomach. I don't care what you're talking about. So again, when we talk about with Coil Ray, putting it in the music, putting your real feelings on wax in real time. So when people hear it, they can be emotionally attached to the music because they can feel it. Somebody, like I said, I don't have to necessarily be going through it today, but that don't mean I never went through it before. So me hearing it was like, damn, that's crazy. And then I'm looking at it like, I can only imagine, like, this is a beautiful girl. She a good actor, whatever the case may be. I can only imagine how that feel. And I don't necessarily, and I'm sure from when I listened to him, I would say he did his interview. It was on the Breakfast Club. His more recent interview was on the Breakfast Club, and it didn't sound like they had a messy breakup. It sounded like they just probably was like
Emmett was doing Emmett.
No, it just sounded like they might have just kept bumping heads because they both young. Or maybe I couldn't, like, he didn't really go into full detail because when they talked about it, he started to blush and Charlamagne made a joke or whatever the case may be. So it kind of like they kind of stirred away from the conversation. But it didn't sound like whatever reason why they broke up, he didn't try to make it seem like they left on bad terms. So I can imagine if you and somebody just to see and say, y'all wasn't on the same page at that time. Like, y'all just broke up because y'all couldn't get on the same page. So you just, like, it was a clean breakup. It wasn't no disrespect. Y'all never had bad terms. Y'all never talked about each other bad. And then that person moves on in the next relationship and get pregnant. Bro, that shit gonna hurt your soul. Like, what's that ether to make your soul burn? Like, no, that's what's gonna happen. Like, I don't care. And again, like I said, I know we live in a day and age where people don't want to be real and don't want to be honest about those feelings. Even while we stand on R&B again, shout out to LMA. She put out a joke. Everybody in their mother was like, Jason Taylor must be the greatest boyfriend of all time. Because she on the joke singing, talking about, like, she just put out a one, like, I guess not an acapella joke because the music playing, but she just put out a cover joke on her TikTok page. And she's singing this joke and she talking about running his bath water and warming up his food for him. Though everybody in the comment section just losing their mind, like, oh, Jason Tatum is going crazy in the box. Like, that's all you see on the comment section on her TikTok page. And I seen this joke on the R&B page on Twitter. That's all because guess what we talking about? We talking about raw emotions. People can, if you can really express yourself well on music when it hits other people emotionally, or they can hear the emotions, it's just going to make people feel a different type of attachment to that song. So again, shout outs to LMA and shout outs to Emmett from the Shy. I feel them, dog, because that's a beautiful girl. I'm not going to lie to you. And I can imagine if him and her was in a nice time, decent relationship, like let's just say you got 5 years in with somebody, y'all young, and you may feel like in your mind, we may be able to spin a block again. Because I'm sure, like, let's be clear. If I'm him, I see her happy with Joey Badass in my mind. Okay, Joey Badass, a nice looking dude. His career going up. He'll probably end up cheating on her, and I can get her. I can try to shoot my shot again. But then when he locked the town down, now it's a dub. You know it's over. Now it's gonna hurt. You know for a fact there ain't no spinning that block. It's over. Because even if Joey Badass eventually end up being a trash dude and she come back or she becomes single again, now she's single again and she got a kid.
It don't matter. If you want her, you want her, right?
Yeah, but it's a difference between if she leave you without one and then come back with one.
That was your fault for not giving her one. Now you can come back and y'all can make it. Y'all can have your own child. That shouldn't stop you if that's what you really want to be with.
You know, Mikey ain't doing no shit like that.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, dog. I'm not saying I won't, but that's gonna hurt. Like,
you gonna have to get over it. Either you want her or you don't. If you want,
because that's I think that's my only thing is just what would stop you, even if she comes back with yes, of course she had a child, but if you really love this person, why is it stopping you from? No,
because you're missing what I'm saying. Because now, what if y'all still never get a chance to have a kid and you just sign up to be a stepdad? Now you're gonna make me sound like TK Kirkland.
But that's fine. If you really love her, that's who you want to be with, right?
Nah, I still but yeah, I might love her and I wanted to be with her, but in my mind of really loving her before y'all broke up was to have a kid and have a family together.
But maybe you didn't
want that though. I think because he redid the Chris Brown song, right? That's
that's what everybody doing that.
And he couldn't, maybe obviously from the song, that's not what he was. So at the time she wanted it, you didn't want it. Okay, so she moved on. They broke up, she got a baby. Now you had a time to make it right, make it right.
Get that out your heart, man.
I don't know. I hear y'all. I don't know.
It's just a baby. You act like what?
Yeah, it's just a baby, but you kind of. But it's the thing that we thought about and we planned out. No,
but you didn't. He didn't plan it because I think that's why they probably one of the reasons why they not together.
No, but let's say that is one of the reasons. But I'm sure because realistically, I'm sure he probably put his career first. So cool, like most people probably do sometimes, especially in the entertainment business. And that is a lot of the reasons why their relationships go left, because one person ready to have a kid and the other person isn't. So I get it. I understand that. But still, we still had those conversations. In my mind, it was probably that you could wait a little bit longer, or hey, maybe we're going to have one in 3 years because financially we both wasn't ready yet. Like we both was sitting here trying to be aspiring actors. Because let's be clear. I mean, I'm not sitting here shitting on her career. I know she was on BMF, but I don't know what else she was on. So I don't know how big her acting career is compared to his, and his ain't the biggest. It's like he in some good, like his mainstay is okay. He Emmett from The Shy. Like I'm not saying he hasn't been on other stuff, but that's kind of his Tariq moment. His Tariq moment is Emmett from The Shy. I don't like he's still being other stuff, but it ain't as big as Emmett on The Shy. So I can kind of understand like some people just are a little bit more smart. And let's be clear, if y'all live in today's Trump world, y'all better be a little bit more smart about having kids as well. And we'll get into that in a minute when we talk about Anthony Edwards and Lil Baby's first baby mom. So I think sometimes with some people, it's kind of just like, I'm not saying that I didn't, because if you sit here saying if I never wanted to have kids, then cool, I wouldn't care. You can come back with 10 kids, and I probably wouldn't care if that was just where I was at. I didn't want to have kids anyway. You're absolutely right. But if one of our things that we constantly talked about in our 5-year relationship was, oh damn, I can't wait for us to have kids and we planned on what type of we was gonna name the kid. Oh, I wanted a little boy, I wanted a little girl.
How long am I supposed to wait? I'm supposed to wait for you to be ready to have kids. What if you?
No, I ain't telling you to wait for me to have kids, but you went and got in another relationship, and I didn't. And probably realistically, let's be clear. You know how some people, if you have a clean breakup, you feel like we'll get back together one day. Like this is not forever. This is not the end of the world. We'll revisit this again one day.
You do?
You can't always bet on that.
Hell yeah, but if you don't have a bad breakup, bro, we listen to what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. If you broke up, but
it's just like you can just stop talking.
You don't just stop talking. You break up for a reason.
No, but it's the same way people ghost people.
But it's for a reason. You ain't just ghost just a ghost. You ghosted for a reason.
The relationship may have just got stale, and then we might have just kept running. We were running into a dead end.
Right, but so that means y'all wasn't on the same page. So it ended.
Yeah,
so it's no movement. It's nothing else further. Why am I spinning the block then? Because if it was still going, we would have kept going.
Because you may become a new person 5 years from now. I may see something completely different than you 5 years later. You may have grown as a person to a complete different level now.
But that's what I'm saying. But when you say, we ended up we broke up on a good term, and I could spin the block again, but we ended for a reason.
Yeah, because at that time let's just see and say, okay, let's just paint a picture. Let's just see and say, 5 years ago, I financially wasn't ready to have a relationship to the point where I can go buy a ring and we can move on and we can now get engaged or work on getting a place together. Like maybe I just couldn't at that time. I couldn't afford it, so I felt like this relationship was going to go on a dead end. I didn't want to. As a man, I didn't know how to express myself that way, so I just kind of cut the relationship off. And I only cut it off because I knew for a fact I wanted to marry you, but I couldn't afford to get the ring, and I didn't know how to tell you that because I didn't want to sit here and feel like I was stringing you along because we already been together for 5 years and I haven't proposed to you yet. So that's a clean breakup. That's just me. That's not. It's not clean because I'm sure the woman probably would have like, damn, you could have just been honest with me. You could have told me that. I would have been okay with it, and I would have thugged it out with you because I really loved you. But most men don't know how to express themselves and got too much pride and ego, so you won't even allow yourself to say that. So cool. Now the relationship is over. Now that I done got myself together, if I'm just keeping it, if I'm Emmett. Now that I done been in this Shy, we on season 6. Shit, they already done renewed us for a season 7. So I'm good money now. Like I'm secure. I'm secure in my acting career. I'm at least secure in this show because now this show ain't even it's like a family type of show now. So I'm good money. I know I'm gonna be here for a break.
But then that's my question. Then how you still my type? That's why I'm saying when you say we stopped talking for a reason or whatever the case may be, what makes you say I can still spin the block and come back into your life and still be the same person that you like? Because I feel like that's what I'm saying. If we broke up for a reason. It ain't like, all right, I'm gonna just put it on hold and I can come back to the game later on. We broke up, we stopped talking for a reason. So I moved on, I experienced other things. So that's what I'm saying. So now she's with Joey Badass. Joey Badass was ready to have kids and do all this blah, blah, blah. Now what's to say, all right, how I know you really gonna commit to me? because you said you ain't had money, you wasn't financial. What if you lose your job when we got back together? Then what? I'm stuck back at the square one we was at before.
No, of course, for sure. I ain't disagreeing with that. Real quick, just to the sidebar, bro. Shout out to Sweetie, and the reason why I want to say shout out to Sweetie because she is one of those artists where it's like, again, when we talk about sometimes where the numbers and stuff don't matter, because Sweetie is not like a super crazy numbers type of person. But Sweetie, I don't know how she do it, bro. But she stays in commercials, she stayed with endorsements, she stayed at all the right events. Yeah, she's very likable. She's very likable. She's very marketable, and she literally always there. And that's to me the only thing I can think of because it's not like, oh, Sweetie Sweetie ain't had a hit record in a minute, but she literally is always at the right places at the right time. She's always at the big events, and she's like there, like, and these companies highlight when she's at the big events.
She's a commercial darling.
She's like, so again, like I said, just shout out to Sweetie. And shout out to the I remember one thing I can say. I do think a little bit I can see the NBA is kind of overdoing the social media part a little bit because even like having Mr. Beast there, but I get it because they're still trying to tie in a younger age group because realistically they probably have just done a horrible job at marketing their younger players. Like I do think realistically that's probably the worst thing that the NBA did is they put too much emphasis on trying to promote Giannis and the Joker, and they just don't have what it takes to market American sport. I understand like you're trying to brand and market to people in Europe. You want the game to be more more worldly game, but I think realistically just we talking about what the NBA is known for. I think they just did a horrible job at like you fumbled the ball with the giant Ant thing. And I get it. They still trying to figure out how to make Ant work, but I just think realistically, you kind of just, you fumbled that ball, though. Like I
can't say you fumbled the ball. I mean, you got to go with hot.
They not hot though, and that's the point. Like,
who's not hot?
None of them.
John and
no. I'm not saying no. John and Ant is, but I'm talking about like even just perfect example. And I think even we can kind of tie this into just like even with Nike. I just thought about even with